Joey Gibson.
All right. All right, can you hear me? Is that loud enough?
Yep.
Yes.
Hello, hello? Okay. All right, so Brittany and Frank, Northwest Trump Alliance, I just want to thank you guys for inviting me and having this event here today. Let's hear it for Brittany and Frank. So they were nice enough to invite me and ask me to talk about free speech. So, free speech is something that's changed my life, absolutely. A lot of people, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about myself for those of you who don't know too much about me. Some of you have heard this story before, so if you've heard it, I apologize. Just bear with me. It'll be quick and painless. Free speech has changed my life. I believe that it is one thing that God brought into my life to make me be passionate about. And the reason why is because last summer, before Trump was nominated as a Republican nominee, he was down in San Jose and he did a Trump rally. I remember sitting there, I remember like it was yesterday, I was on the TV and I was watching the news. And these people who were leaving a Trump rally, it didn't matter if you're a Trump fan or not, it didn't matter. These people who were leaving a Trump rally were being harassed, were being yelled at, were being punched. I remember seeing probably a 15-year-old kid, a skinny kid, running for his life around like 3 blocks until he finally found the police. And at that moment in time, I had spent my whole life not participating in anything. I was passionate, I was a constitutionalist, I hated big government, okay? I was a libertarian, but I never did anything. In that moment in time, I knew that America is no longer America. You should be allowed to go to any rally. You should be allowed to go to participate in anything, and you should, especially for someone who's running for the President of the United States of America. Yes. It is absolutely insane. These people, they left this rally, and the mayor had the police stand down. That was the one thing that bugged me more than anything, and it hit me in that moment of time. That's when I realized the government can't come in and just shut things down, okay? Right. But they will slowly brainwash our public, brainwash our culture, so that their citizens, their social justice warriors will do the dirty work for them. And that changed my life. I remember it was probably, I don't know how much longer after I bought tickets to go down to Cleveland for the RNC. Okay, once Trump had finally gotten that nomination. I went down there expecting total chaos, okay? Because I had seen the police stand down all up and down in California, so I expected total chaos. I went there, there were police officers literally from like every single state. If your voice got loud, 20 police officers on bikes are coming out of nowhere, just like separate everyone. I was like shocked. So, okay, so, all right, it's not going to be a huge war. We're not going to start a civil war. All right, so I got to walk around on the streets for a week straight, just talking to all these different people, okay? All these people from around the country came in, communists, Antifa, whatever, socialists, libertarians, all these people came in, and I got to walk the streets for a whole week. And the one thing that I noticed that changed me forever is that everyone was so passionate about what it is that they believe in. They're so passionate, they're going to fly down here, and they're going to come in here, and they're trying to do something about what they believe. Whether you agree with them or not, that didn't matter to me. I had respect for them because they were actually trying to do something.
Woo! Yeah!
That's the thing, is I spent half my life, most of my life, just wasting it away, not doing a damn thing. I mean, I loved my family. I took care of them, took care of my house or whatever, had a job, made, decent money, was doing like things the right way, okay? But at the end of the day, I was doing nothing for my country. All the things that I was passionate about, I did nothing about. Now, the other thing that I recognized that day, or that week, there were so many protests, and there were so many marches going on all in Cleveland, all over the place, like organized, complete, like lots of money, all these like fancy signs, all these fancy, just whatever. The communists were organized like crazy, okay? And I realized every single march or protest that happened that week, okay, played into the government's hands. Every single march was about making our government bigger, taking money from the rich, give it to the government. All of it was to support the establishment and the government. If you think about it, communists, they run around, they do their marches, and they had these amazing marches and amazing protests. If you're an establishment figure, if you're in power in Washington, D.C., how much would you love a communist government? Because you get to tell everyone what to do, you get to take everyone's money, you get to pass all these regulations, and you pick the winners and the losers. And that's when I decided in that moment in time that when I come home, I'm gonna bring the movement, the liberty movement, the movement that the establishment hates, that the government hates, bringing that to the streets. Because that's how you bring in the youth. Portland hates me, but we'll get there in a second, okay? All right. Now, at this moment in time, I still didn't know that free speech was so important to me. I didn't understand that, okay? Because it's not just about free speech. Free speech is tied into a lot of things, like honesty and love and passion, okay? I didn't know what to do. I flew in late. I woke up the next morning, just told my eyes were like wide open. I was like, what am I gonna do? I grabbed my kids, I grabbed my flags, my Gaston flags, my American flags. I believe I grabbed a Trump flag. And all three of us, literally, I don't know, I'm from Vancouver, Washington. We walked the streets on 4th Plain, okay? I didn't know what else to do, but I was like, I'm gonna bring it to the streets. So I went to the streets, all right? Man, it was amazing. Like, it was like, F you, or yay, or like, it was like, emotions ran wild all over the streets. It was hatred, it was love, it was passion, it was insane. Eventually, David Nelson's here, Dale was right here. He was the first guy to join me. I remember I was standing by myself over I-5, just holding my Trump flag, everyone flipping me off or honking their horns or whatever. And all of a sudden I look at the distance, I see this man walking up with his Trump flag, and I was like, oh hey, and like we just met each other, you know? He's one of my best friends. He was one of the first to ever join me, and I'll never forget that. So anyways, eventually we have 5, 10, 15, 20 people, like all these people I didn't even know, okay? I didn't know anybody. But the one thing that I understood is that all these people who were flipping us off, who were cussing at us, who were yelling at us, okay? You would never know how much hatred is out there unless you actually went on the streets and held these flags. You would never know. It hides under the surface. This evil, this hatred, it hides until you challenge it, until you go out on the streets and you show what it is that you believe in and what you're for. Then that's when the darkness comes up. That's when you see the hatred. That's when you see the evil. And it blew my mind. That's when I first started to realize that it is about political correctness. Amen. That's what it comes down to. I know that we hear political correctness so much that we just kind of laugh about it now, but the one thing that we don't understand, that we don't talk about how serious it is, political correctness is exactly what is controlling our culture, our environment, our politics, and everything. And it's not just on the left. We attribute it to the left because they use it politically, okay? Political correctness is basically a way to dehumanize someone because they're different from you. Because as long as it's not about their skin color, if it's about what they believe, if they don't conform to the group, you dehumanize them so you can be hateful towards them, you can degrade them, you can make fun of them, and it's okay. It's considered appropriate in this society, in this culture that we live in. No. And so that's the thing, is I've talked about this before in the past. Hatred is wrong 100% of the time. The problem that we have is these people that come to my rallies and stuff, they believe it's okay to hate me. They believe it's okay to cuss at me and to yell at me, and they say they're coming to fight hate. But that's the thing that we need to start promoting in this country, is we need to be against hate 100% of the time. And that is the culture war that we're going through right now.
Yeah!
So, I'm almost done here, but now like I said, the only way you expose the darkness and expose the evil, okay, is you cannot hide. That's the thing, you cannot hide. And that's why I committed to throw these rallies and these marches. I know a lot of people say I'm an instigator, and a lot of people say that, you know, I cherish the violence, or I'm just, and all that stuff. And some of that's legitimate. But at the end of the day, I am an instigator because I go into these liberal areas and I say, my name is Joey Gibson, and I love America. Yeah. And I love everything about it. I love freedom, and I'm polite and I'm respectful. I do not ever cuss at them, and I'm not ever hateful towards them. So in that manner, yes, I am an instigator because I show what I believe in, and we bring other Americans into these liberal strongholds to show what it is that we believe in. Woo! About political correctness, obviously it came from brainwashing. We all know that, we understand that. It came from the media, our schools, the colleges, we understand that. It came from the elites to brainwash all of us, but it's not just on the left, okay? Political correctness is a big problem even in our own little movement that we have going right here. The Republicans, or whatever, the conservatives, the libertarians, everybody is getting so triggered because someone disagrees with you. because someone is different from you. We are having a hard time accepting people who are different and just letting bygones be bygones and just coming together, okay? Political correctness, the key to political correctness, excuse my language, I know there's kids here, but the key to political correctness is to be an asshole. If you're not rude to people, political correctness doesn't work. And that's why I believe political correctness and freedom of speech, all of it boils down. I don't care what Mayor Wheeler says, trying to shut me down, or the governor, or whatever, it doesn't matter. It boils down to us just being good people to one another. It doesn't matter who it is, a Democrat, a socialist, a Republican, or whatever, libertarian. We have to be respectful for each other so that we can encourage this free flow of ideas and thoughts. If we can't be free to talk and to have a conversation and to have a debate, that's an attack on free speech. And the only way we can do that is to begin to love people. We don't have to like someone. There's a lot of people who annoy the crap out of me who I love to death, okay? But we can focus on love and focus on being good people and appreciate other people's opinions and stop getting triggered so much. And I believe that is the key. That is the purpose of political correctness, so that we don't talk, so that we don't exchange our different ideas. Because when we talk and we talk about differences of opinion, both people, if they're open, they both grow. They don't necessarily agree with each other, but they grow. And understand, there are people, establishment in DC, they don't want us to grow. They don't want us to be smart. They don't want us to be independent. They don't want us to believe in ourselves. They don't want us to be independent. They just want us to fight amongst each other as much as we possibly can, so that way we don't come together and unite and take on this government that has been controlling us for way too long, regulating us to death, taxing us to death with all their lies and all their corruption. And I am telling you, free speech is the key to break through this. Free speech and love will be the foundation to keep this movement going, so that we can do things like take this governor out of the office. One last thing I'm going to say before I go. Piece of advice. Everything that you do, you got to think about how you feel when you're doing it, what motivates you. If you're so angry, if you're so pissed, like if you want to get this governor out of office, you can't do it out of hatred and anger about the things that she's doing. You got to do it out of love. Love for your state. Love for your country. Love for your family. That's what's got to drive you. If you're not motivated out of positive emotions and positive feelings, okay, that means you have no hope, you have no faith, you're stressed out, you're angry, you're pissed off, and every single thing that you do, you're going to be sitting in the mud. You're going to be sitting in the darkness. So just make sure, I know this game is hard that you guys are in. Politics, all this stuff, changing law, changing community, changing culture. This is some real stuff. This is a real deal. Okay, this is where all the hatred, all the anger, all that anxiety comes from. You got to pull yourself out of that and rise above it and just be the good person, be good to each other, and be good for, hey, you take care of the state, we take care of this West Coast. I'm telling you, we will change this country, okay? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.